Hello everyone, exercise 27 right now on the menu. Let's take a look. 27a. The price of a product is increased by 8% to 36 euros. Calculate the oil price. Okay. I think the most difficult part here is to know when you're going to multiply with a factor and when you're going to divide by a factor. And if you have troubles figuring out when to use which, I'm going to give you a plan that always works as long as you follow it. What I prefer to do is know that new is equal to your multiplication factor. So let's immediately apply that to here. So let's first calculate the multiplication factor. If we have an 8% increase, that means the factor is going to be 1.08. We know that new is equal to the multiplication factor times old, right? And what you're now just going to do is always write it like this. First calculate your multiplication factor, fill it into this formula. New is multiplication factor times old. Now see if we are given new or old. Well, 236, so new is now given. And old is what we want to calculate. And now I'm going to process this as a very mathematical unit, because I say this is just solving a linear equation with the variable being on the right hand side. We have something times old is 36. Let's say I had this 1.08x is 36, and hopefully by now you know that you could solve it using the balance methods and dividing left and right by the number that's in front of x, which gives me x is 36 over 108. So you see that here a division happens. The same thing happens here. To now calculate what old is, I want to get rid of this 1.08 on the right. Then divide that on both sides, and you see that that's why there is an actual division here. And if you do this, you will find approximately 33.33 euros. Okay, and I think this is the way that it always works. So let's try that B again. The price of a 25 euro product increased by 8%. Okay, so we still have that 8% increase, right? So we still have this. Let's be lazy. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. And again, if you want to fill in the formula, we know new is 1.08 times old. Only this time they give me 25 euros. That's old. Yeah, and now you have just a calculation. And this you can calculate. Right? I can see that this is going to be 27 euros. See? So this is the one you're used to it, and then multiplication I think is more obvious, but here is why a division actually happens. C. Our calculator costs 54 euros including a 21% tax. What's the price excluding tax? Okay, so including tax, that means that without tax the price is 100%, so including tax it's 121%. So that gives me a multiplication factor of 1.21. And now you could say, you can still work with old and new here. It's a bit weird maybe because we're not really having an old and a new here, but you can then rewrite that formula to say that the price including tax is the same as 1.21 times the price excluding tax. And this should be true, right? That is how taxes work. And what do we know now? We know that including the 21% tax, it's 54. So we have 54 is 1.21 times the price. That's not how you write excluding. Excluding tax. And now you see why division again is going to be used here. because now the price excluding tax. Well, you take this thing to get rid of the 1.21 balance method, divide by 1.21, but then also we divide the left by 1.21. And let's see what that's going to be. Let's see. It's approximately 44.63. Oh, should have put a euro sign there. Well, this also works. Okay? And I think this one poses the most problems for people, because a lot of people are going to instead multiply with 0.79, and that gives you a different answer. So that's why writing it down like this helps you also figuring out what to do. The price of a computer is reduced by 12%. Okay, 12% decrease. So it gives me 0.88. The new price is 1750. Yeah, you can immediately write down this as well, right? So new 1750 is equal to 0.88 times old. So now skipping that step that I did here and here with writing down new is first. Immediately write down O. So new 1715 is 0.88 times old. We want old, so old is equal to, well, balance method again. You see that when you use this, what you're actually doing every time is approximately the same trick. This gives me approximately 1988 and 64 cents. Okay, so that's the old price. The book explains it in a different way, right? By writing old here and new here, and then with the arrows like that. That of course also works, right? Do what you prefer. I like it writing it as an equation. I'm a mathematician, so maybe a bit more abstract way of doing it. If it helps you, write it in that way. Otherwise, use the notation that the book uses in the examples. Good luck!